Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having a great Wednesday. Today's been a pretty eventful day when it comes down to sleeping. Definitely have not taken as many positions as I wanted. I wasn't feeling, I'm still not feeling very well when it comes down to just being in the position to actually trade at the moment. I went live today for those that are part of a Learn, Plan, Profit. They got to watch me trade live. I really right away talked about I don't know if it was just the way that I was feeling, just didn't feel like up to par to trade, right? And that's one of the things that we talk about all the time. If you feel like your mindset just isn't in place, do not, especially, don't go very aggressive with your positions. If you see something that you might see value in, all power to you. But even that, right? Sometimes you might want to learn how to step away from the screen, as they say. So I ended up taking one position. I took the position live when I was trading with the LPP team. I closed the live stream out. I don't know if those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit were able to kind of tell. My voice was a little groggy during the morning. I had a huge headache, and I felt like my tonsils were getting a little bit more inflated. I think the lack of sleep is actually catching up to me. I guess 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day isn't enough, but I just caught up on about 3 hours of sleep, so hopefully that makes me makes me better and pushes me through the day. But I wanted to talk about kind of what led to my success. So I originally took my position on the TOS platform, and I'm going to show you guys that in just a bit. It was probably one of the worst days to not take a position, and the reason why was TNDM, I think I did pretty good on this one. So TNDM had a pretty aggressive sell-off. It sold off down to I think it was 33.50. My average price was around 33.08, if I'm not mistaken, and then it started showing signs of an uptrend. I talked about the resistance at the middle VWOP, locked in profits right away, and then with this one, I was able to lock in a little bit over $130. I actually sold my position when I was in bed with that trader application by TD Ameritrade that I've talked about multiple times, right? I set my alerts beforehand on the TOS platform. I had my laptop right next to me so I could see it on the big charts, but on top of that, have you guys ever used the OCO brackets on the mobile? I find it a lot easier to use on the mobile version for TD Ameritrade. It was super easy for myself because I was not feeling good to set a limit order and a limit sell, right? Or a stop loss and a limit sell to make sure that I either lock in profits or if I cut losses because of the medication that I took right before I was about to head to bed. I wanted to make sure that I managed my risk. I saw value that it would hit around the middle VWAP. I locked in profits and luckily it was in my favor, right? But all of a sudden if it pulled back, then it would have cut losses, and but at least that was automated, right? It looks like I did pretty well when it comes down to not taking another position because it sold off all the way down to $32. But for those that are tuning in, I don't know if it's this. I don't know if this is the live chat. Let me see. For those that are, let me close this out real quick. For those that tuned into the Learn, Plan, Profit live stream, right? What is it that? Let's see. Here we go. So what's the #1 stock that I was really watching in the live stream for those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit? Do any of you guys remember? For those that are part of LPP, I was giving it time to identify its direction. Do you guys? There we go. You guys got it, right? And I know, again, one of those ETFs that I was watching was I really wanted to take a position on almost UGAS because UGAS opened up on the day, right? UGAS closed yesterday at around that almost the $91 price point, and then pushed up to highs of $97.94. But one thing that we noticed right away is that right before the market opened, right, it started to trade in between the middle and top VWAP, almost showing signs of an uptrend pattern. But then all of a sudden, as the market opens, and this happens so many times due to volatility, it sold off, right? It sold off below the middle VWAP. And I was like, okay, well, that's a break of pattern. And then it picks right back up. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's been very indecisive right now. I don't truly understand which direction it's going to be going, and I want to give it more time. So I literally talked to the team, and this is something that we've talked about multiple times, especially within the past couple of days. It's actually just taking a step back, giving it more time to identify whatever stock, whatever ETF that you are planning to trade, giving it more time to trade in between the middle and top VWAP, because that makes sense, right? And then right as I woke up, I saw that it broke above the SMA indicator, and I tried to put my limit order to buy. Doesn't look like I'm going to get filled, so I'm going to close that out. But altogether, now it's very easy, right? I think now everyone can see that, at this time right here, could everyone have known that it was gonna, show signs of an uptrend? I just want this to be the sole focus then of the video. Do you see how it was trending between the middle and top VWAP? And then all of a sudden it sold off and then it picked up. It's almost either a horizontal pattern. It was very difficult to identify if it was showing signs of an uptrend or a downtrend, correct? Like if your sole focus is to grow your account every single day, you want to understand what direction that stock is headed today, right? But it's so difficult when you don't have enough data and enough direction to identify that. So all we talked about was giving it more time to identify what direction it's going to be going. And by that time factor and being patient, you can see that it pushed up above the top VWAP, pushed down, identified the middle VWAP to be a support, and then pushed right back up today. With that, it would have been very easy for myself to identify that, hey, DGAS was showing and is showing signs of an uptrend pattern today, so it makes sense on why I might want to scalp it in between the middle VWAP and top VWAP, right? And then that's why it interested me to buy around that $14 price point and then to sell the highs around the top VWAP. Again, the margin is not huge. It's about anywhere from like 1.5 to maybe 2.5% from the middle and top VWAP. But that's a day trade worth taking for me. And if it's not worth taking for you, then guess what? You don't have to take it. But I wanted to talk to you guys about understanding a little bit more of the direction that the stock that you are trading. Another perfect example, right? For TNDM. If I would have given it more time, right? So at this point, yes, it was showing signs of a sell-off, or right here, it showed signs of a sell-off and then showed signs of recovery, right? And then showed signs of a sell-off and then showed signs of recovery. It's still kind of difficult for us to make sense. Like, is this because, especially if you're familiar with TNDM on the 5-day, 5-minute chart, it's kind of all over the place, right? So it's a little bit more difficult to identify what direction is it going to be going. So if we literally just give it more time to identify its direction and let it set, it's like, is it trending between the middle and bottom VWAP? Is it a down pattern or middle and top VWAP? Is it an up pattern? Or is it a horizontal pattern all day, right? That's what I think that can really give you a better understanding if that position is worth taking today. And so is the VWAP a study or a drawing? No, it's a what's it called? It's a study. So if you have the TOS platform, you have access to the VWAP. If you don't have TOS, I know there's only a very selected amount of brokerages that even offer anything that's similar to this. I would say the Bollinger Bands would be almost relatively the closest thing to it. If you are familiar with those, you guys can Google those. And also feel free to call your brokerage account to see if they offer the VWAP or anything of that sort. So I simply just wanted to talk about, understanding a little bit more direction of whatever it is that you are trading, and to make sure that also if you're not feeling up to par when it comes down to actually taking your position, then one of the best things that you can do is obviously stepping away. So, I mean, today, obviously being one of with TNDM, it was definitely not my most profitable day, right? I barely cleared over $100. It's $130.77. My daily goal is $500 to $750 a day. Yesterday I did a pretty good job when it came down to my actual positions. So let's see if I can actually pop it up. I made my video yesterday of how when I went live I was up about a little bit over $500 at that time, right? But because I continued to trade throughout the day, I took quite a bit of positions, right? And I'll show you guys. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I know you guys probably have seen the updates on my profits and stuff like that. But this is pretty much how it ended. The different stocks that I traded and kind of like what led to my success. So I ended the day at a total of $801.67 profit. And that was yesterday. And again, understanding that my daily goal is $500 to $750. Today, I did not feel good, right? I was able to lock in the 130. Obviously, there's a lot of missed opportunity due to my lack of activity on DGAS. So I felt like I could have done well with that one. But I think I think the thing that I'm taking away from this is, if you don't feel 100% to trade, right, or to make the right decisions that will lead to your success when it comes down to investing, then maybe stepping away from the computer, right, taking some time off. For me, it was the lack of sleep. It was really hard for me to concentrate, and when it comes down to my emotions, or when it comes down to my patience, that's going to be affected by also how my overall state, right, and I'm sorry that this video took so long for me to upload. I usually upload my first video before 10 a.m. I just really am not feeling good. So I really want to thank you guys again for your time and for absolutely everything that is that you guys do. If there's something that I can do that could do a little bit better, then I would be more than happy to be a part of your success. So again, all the links are down below if you guys want to stay connected. We offer the largest private trading community out there. It's called TechBot Solutions. We have a little bit over 160,000 members. And if you've ever struggled to surround yourself with people that, regardless if you want to invest in the stock market or not, let's see. If you've ever wanted to invest in the stock market or not, then I would encourage you to at least check out some of the videos that we have on YouTube. We're not the only YouTube channel that you can learn from. We simply just are the largest YouTube channel for those who invest in the stock market. And then if I talked a little bit about Learn, Plan, Profit and how they can watch me trade live every morning. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, invest 30 seconds and click that first link in the description, as that's what the Learn, Plan, Profit group is all about. So thank you guys again for your time. Wish you guys an amazing and eventful Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see you guys bright and early on Thursday. And remember, again, tomorrow is the natural gas report. So regardless if you tune in or not, at 7:30 or my time, right? So 1 hour after the market opens, I really hope that you guys are aware that for both DGAS and UGAS, they will be affected by this natural gas report, usually about 2 to 3%. And again, it's very difficult for you to identify what direction it's going to be going, since the natural gas report literally comes out that specific minute. So one of the things that I do, again, one of the tips that I always share within LPP is, if you don't understand the risk, simply don't take part of it, right? So I try to never hold during that specific, moment when the natural gas report comes out. I either try to buy the dip on whichever one ends up selling off, if that one was showing signs of overall being bullish. So thank you guys again for your time. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.